please get out your ELA notebooks and your ELA journal. I love it. All right, guys, this afternoon, we're going to begin our third type of writing. We have written narratives that tell a story. We have practiced some informational writing where we give the facts. This afternoon, we're going to be looking at opinion writing. But we're not only going to be writing, we're going to have to actually read some opinions in order to be able to write opinions. So I'm using that word a lot, opinion. So what is an opinion? Have you ever heard that word before? And here are some examples. What's the best food? What's the best movie? Could you go give someone your opinion about the best food? Go tell somebody what's the best food, hands down. This one's the best. Okay, go. And maybe tell them why that one's the best. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, Miss Mary's class, over here, I heard pizza from a friend. I heard ice cream. I heard macaroni and cheese. Okay, but no one over here was punching each other in the face. No, nobody over here was fighting about it. You were giving your opinion, but you guys were able to exercise one of our habits. Seek to understand, then to be understood. You have to be able to hear other people's opinions in real life and understand what they're telling you while still disagreeing respectfully. Okay, you may find someone who shared the same food as you, and that's wonderful. When you find people who share ideas with you, that's great. But you may come across people in life where you do not share someone's opinion. And that's where you can offer your idea and give your reasons respectfully. And that's a life lesson that we've got to learn, guys. I know Miss Goodwin does not like social media because, and she is absolutely correct on some things about it, because guess what people do all the time? They say bad things. Someone will offer their opinion, and instead of respectfully offering theirs in return and trying to understand before they're understood, they immediately start going, me, 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 me. You're wrong, I'm right, me, me, me. And they don't say it as nice as I just did. Okay, so I hope by us doing this lesson and learning how to opinion write, we'll also take this into our real lives and learn how to hear other people's opinions and find out when we agree that that's good. But when we disagree, how can we be respectful with our reasons and our evidence to give a valid argument instead of just nanny, nanny, boo, boo, I don't like your face. Okay. Instead of just nanny, nanny, boo, boo, we want to be able to give reasons and evidence. Okay. I know a heated one that comes up between folks sometimes is the best team. Who's got the best football team? Chiefs and Eagles. Oh, Chiefs and Eagles. So don't even mess with me. It's Chiefs and Eagles. Tennessee. Okay. Oh, Tennessee Titans. Well, what about the UT Vols? Nobody a Vols fan over here? No. Oh, so it gets a little more heated when you get passionate about it. Okay. So we got to be able to listen and or read. We're going to be reading today about people's opinions before we can write about our own. Okay. So when we talk about writing opinions today, I'm not just talking about, hey, Brantley, what's your favorite type of food? We're going to be reading to understand first and then writing so that our opinion can also be understood. Okay, guys? All right. So that's how our writing is going to be different. You're not just writing an opinion piece about how you feel about something. You're going to be writing about how others use their reasons and their evidence for it. So, for example, Miss Patterson might say, my favorite football team is the Tennessee Vols. Oh, I know. Okay, that's my opinion. Here's my reason, because the Vols are special to lots of my family. They've been in my family for generations. Okay, so that's a reason. Here's my evidence for that. My grandfather grew up and was good friends with Johnny Major, who was a coach for the UT Vols. So because of my grandfather and his relationship with the UT coach, we have been lifelong Vols fans. So I gave my opinion. My reason is connected to my family. And then I gave the evidence of how I make that connection. Okay. So you're going to be looking for that. I heard some folks say, I think it was Caleb, I heard say, my favorite food is ice cream. And then he gave a why. What was your reason for ice cream being your favorite, Caleb? Makes you so better, and it makes you I love it. Okay, so Caleb says his favorite food is ice cream. His reason is you can eat it in the summer, and it makes you feel better. Okay, is what I heard you say. And then I would say your evidence for that is it's cold and it cools you off in the summer. So do you see how each step dives a little deeper? All right, so I want us to open up and find out what we're going to be writing about, because guess what? It's not ice cream. Okay, so we're going to open up our ELA notebooks. So notebooks, make sure you have the one with the orange binding. And I'm going to open up to our writing chart section because we're going to be writing, reading to write. And I'm going to open up to page 118. Okay, guys, 118. Check your friends around you. Are you on 118? Okay, we're going to look at our prompt. And you know, every time we have a prompt or a type of writing, I have a song to help us out. And then in our journal, we're going to organize our writing, because we're going to be able to support our opinion with reasons and evidence after we find out other people's reasons and evidence. That is our goal, to find their reasons and evidence and then say whether we agree or disagree. And by the end of the week, we'll have an opinion essay put together. Today, we're only going to look at one side of the debate, one side of the argument, one of the opinions. Okay? All right. What do you notice? Is that what that says? What does that say? That says favorite shape. Yes, awesome. Jayton, magnet up. I heard you first. Writing prompt. Whenever we see the words writing prompt, that's not what it says anymore, right, guys? It says favorite shape. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw my favorite shape. So whenever we see the words writing prompt, we're going to draw our favorite shape. Thank you. Thank you. That's lovely. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Looking good. Okay, adding the conclusion. Good. Because all good pieces of writing. We're going to open it up, add good juicy details, and close it down. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Right here, got it. Lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Looks good. Looks good. Ooh, I like it. Beautiful. Que bonita. Fantastic. Okay, so I've drawn my favorite shape. Now I am ready to look at the actual prompt. Where am I going to find my topic? You're fine. Where am I going to find my topic? What part am I looking at? It's been a minute since we've looked at a prompt. What part am I looking at? What was that, Regina? The top. The top. What's that stuff at the bottom? The conclusion. Do what? Oh, good advice, tips. Yes, the stuff at the bottom is just good advice and good tips. So I want you right now, I'm going to take my red pen. And I'm going to box out the top part. This is where I'm going to find my topic for my essay, what I have to write about. The stuff down below is just tips and advice, reminding you of things to do when you write. I want you to get up and go find somebody and read over this with them and decide, what are we going to be writing about? Okay? Go get up. I don't want you to have numbatitis. It's very much. So you get up, go share, go read, get your fluency on, and decide, what are we going to be writing about? Would you like to see a copy? Because they have it right in front of me. You want to see a copy? Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Yes. Now this is just, I've looked at the TCAP writing prompts and how they're set up, and I've set this up as like a TCAP writing prompt, but it's not a TCAP writing prompt. Okay.
In my opinion, it is a good idea, or in my opinion, it's a bad idea. I'm taking what's in the prompt and I'm putting them down, and my topic says. Your opinion, is it a good idea? Right? Yeah. What do you writing about? You should know where's
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'd like to come over to Ms. Berry's class. Is there a sentence in our circled area that tells us what we have to write about, what our topic is going to be? Miss Berry's class, is there anyone who can find that sentence? Brainiacs, I want you to put your finger on what you think that sentence is, and we're going to see if we agree with them or disagree with them.
Yeah, we
So
had
let's-
hands all over the place. I chose Aiden here. She had her hand up first. So Aiden, what is the sentence that we're going to be writing about?
It says, how do you feel, how about how the students feel about school uniforms, in your opinion? So it's about, how do you feel, what's your opinion about school uniforms?
Yeah, okay. So it's your opinion about how you feel about school uniforms. Is there a sentence that tells us that?
Yes, it says, read to,
Yeah.
in your opinion, is it a good idea to have school uniforms?
What do you think, guys? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yes, oftentimes that question mark is going to tell you exactly what you have to restate as your topic sentence. I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to underline it. All right, I bet you guys already have a bit of an opinion about this. I bet some of you have some strong opinions about it. Maybe some of you don't care at all, but some of you may already be like, listen here, this is how I feel about it, okay? Okay, but can we just say, nanny, nanny, boo, boo, this is how I feel? No, we've got to get some reasons and evidence. We're going to have to read and find some ideas that we can decide if we want to share them or say, no, I don't agree with that. Okay, so we have our prompt. Our prompt is, in your opinion, is it a good idea to have school uniforms? How could we restate that to make it a statement, to make it a topic sentence? Whisper with the friends around you. How could you make that a statement? Nim, Regina, join up with each other. I'm going to have to find some friends. How could you make that a statement rather than a question?
In my opinion, is it a good idea or a bad idea to have school uniforms?
Woo! Elijah, my hair's on fire. Oh.
Okay, so, but you're gonna do your readings, I'm going to take that and make it a statement. Okay, so you don't have to tell me how you feel about it yet. Just turn that and make it a statement. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I knew it would happen. I knew some folks would want to be like, but let me tell you why I feel that way.
Not yet. Not yet. We just have to restate our topic. Okay. It says, in your opinion, is it a good idea to have school uniforms? And so we're going to take it from a question and say, in my opinion, with me, see, I'm stating it. In my opinion, it is I'm leaving a blank here because I haven't done any research yet. I haven't read the 2 passages it's talking about. Because remember, we always look at the prompt and the questions first. With me so far? I need to see this written down. Let's go. Thank you. Keep going. You're not done. You've missed some words. Good. Excellent. Well, there we are. That's the start of it. Good. Thank you. Get that head up, Colin. I know. I'm sorry. We can get it close. Take a minute. Wonderful. So what are my two choices? Bad or good, right? So after I read and I decide, I'm gonna have to tell, in my opinion, it is a good idea, or in my opinion, is a bad idea. So after we have read, we can see if we still think it's a bad idea or we think it's a good idea now. Okay? We don't know yet because we're just in the question phase. Okay. That is our prompt that we have to write about. Okay? Here's how it's different than Natalie just telling me how much she doesn't like school uniforms and asked to tell me how much she just thinks they are wonderful. Okay? We have to hear from others. And that's where our song comes in. Are you ready? And we'll help you organize it because it said we had to use information from 2 passages. Now I'm going to try not to butcher this song that's back on 116. It always gets too high for Mrs. Patterson. Okay. Y'all know the tune of Three Blind Mice?
Yeah.
Oh, some of us haven't heard Three Blind. You know Three Blind Mice?
No.
3 blind mice, 3 blind mice.
yes, I know.
See how they run, see how they run. Well, you may not know it, but you're going to learn it as the opinion song. Okay, here we go. Opinion writing, opinion writing. State your opinion first. Just state your opinion. And that's what we've done here. We just give our opinion. We choose if we think it's good or we think it's bad. Okay, you see how the song matches it? Opinion writing, opinion writing. State your opinion first. Just state your opinion. This is where it gets too high for me. The first paragraph has evidence from one side of the argument. So right here is going to be one side of the argument. One of the articles is going to be for school uniforms, and one of the articles is going to be against school uniforms. Okay. The first paragraph is just going to talk about how that one person feels about it. Not you, not Ms. Goodwin, not Mrs. Patterson, but our first person we read from. Okay. The first paragraph has evidence from one side of the argument. The second paragraph has evidence from the other side of the argument. So, how's this person somebody who's for school uniforms, against school uniforms, or against school uniforms, for school uniforms? 2 sides of the argument go here. With me? So, I'm going to put one side, other side. So if in the cafeteria they said, we're going to let the school choose what desserts we have next week. And here are the 2 choices, cupcakes or ice cream. Okay, so we'll get evidence for cupcakes and we'll get evidence for ice cream. Okay, we'll listen to others' opinions about cupcakes and others' opinions about ice cream. This is what other people think, both sides of the argument. Okay, so the first paragraph has evidence from one side of the argument. The second paragraph has evidence from the other side of the argument. Finally, you tell who you agree with and why. So this paragraph, this is where you get to go to town and tell me how you feel about it. Okay? Not here. This is other people's opinions. Talk about what we learned from other people's. Here, whoa, now Henos can tell me exactly how he feels about, do you agree with cupcakes or do you agree with ice cream, Henos? Do you want cupcakes or do you want ice cream? Ice cream, why do you want ice cream? Oh, he said, I want ice cream. The cream makes it so good. The coldness is going to cool me off because it's a warm week. So do you see, this is where Henos can talk about how he feels about it. This is where you get to talk about how you feel about school uniforms. Okay? Not here. Good. Okay. So let's go back through it. Opinion writing, opinion writing. State your opinion first. Just state your opinion. The first paragraph has evidence from one side of the argument. The second paragraph has evidence from the other side of the argument. Finally, you tell who you agree with and why. Then restate your opinion. Restate your opinion. Okay, here's where we started our opinion. We have to restate it at the bottom. I'm going to need some sophisticated transitions so that I can change it up. I'm going to pretend that at the top I said, in my opinion, it is a good idea to have school uniforms. Okay, I'll go with that then. Okay. In my opinion, it is a bad idea to have school uniforms. And then I have talked about how Sally Sue felt about it, how Jim Bilbo Bob felt about it, how I feel about it, and I've got to restate it. What might be a good transition to use? What's one of Miss Patterson's favorites? What you got for me? Therefore, that's why I think school uniforms are a bad idea. What might be another one I could use, Regina? In conclusion, this is why I think school uniforms are a bad idea. What do you think?
I like it.
Do say it again?
Unlike.
Unlike the first one, I still agree that school uniforms are a bad idea. I could say, as stated above, as you can see. Okay, so as a result of the research, I still think school uniforms are a bad idea. Okay, so we need to choose a sophisticated transition. Nim, I need you to sit up. I do not want to use your name in an unpositive way anymore. What do you like? Okay, you know that was my favorite. And here I could say my opinion still is, or I could say I think, I believe. Okay. I am still leaving it as a blank because I am leaving myself open. I'm keeping an open mind that I may read and change my original opinion after I do a little research. Also, this is about school uniforms. That's something you're relatively familiar with. But if this was about give your opinions about dolphins versus squid, okay, you might need some more research before you decide which one's the best predator. Okay, you might need to learn a little bit more before you can decide on that. So that's why I'm leaving my opinion blank. I'm filling it as much as I can for my prompt, but I'm giving myself the chance to be convinced otherwise. I'm keeping an open mind. I want to understand before I'm understood. Okay, we have looked at our prompt. We have sang our song. We are getting ready to hear the first side of the argument. Okay, so I do not have enough room here to write down everything that I find out. So I'm gonna, in my journal, I'm gonna open up my writing journal. I'm gonna find my next blank page. Oh, I had that Revolutionary War essay I was working on. Oh my goodness, those were so good. You guys, see, you can write like, woo. So I'm gonna open up to my next blank page. I'm not gonna skip 52 pages or else I'm gonna run out of papers. Awesome. Thank you. Find your next blank page. Find a blank page. Next blank page. Find a blank page somewhere. Stand up if you need to. Take your stretch. Okay. We have done our prompt. We've looked at our song, and now we are in our journal. We're going to read one side of the argument to find their reasons and evidence. What are their reasons and evidence? So let's get it set up together. Let's look at page 119 in our notebook and have our journal ready for notes. Go ahead and look at the title. Does that give you any clues? Read the title different. Does it give you any clues about how they feel? Oh my goodness. So what are we expecting this person to tell us about? Are they for school uniforms or against? Against. They think school uniform bad. Okay. I want you to look and notice. What do you notice up here at the top? So what is this that we're looking at here, guys? A letter, okay? And it is on page 119 and it continues on the back of 120. Can you tell who is the author of this letter? Keisha Hamilton. So if I am going to quote from the text, can I just copy it? No, I have to introduce it. And so I can introduce it with Keisha Hamilton says in the first article in paragraph 4, Keisha Hamilton says, okay, do you see how if we know their name and the article, we can introduce our quotations. All right, so I'm going to go ahead so that I don't forget who it is. At the top of my paper, I'm going to let myself know that I'm taking notes on Article 1. And the title. Practice our handwriting here, guys. Remember, capitalize your titles. That's the T in mince. That way I know the notes on this page are going to be from that article and this nice lady.
I know Miss Goodson, but she won't. Back to it, you're gonna wanna, don't break your neck.
Now, guys, are you besties with Keisha Hamilton?
No.
So when you use her name in your essay, you can't just call her Keisha. Okay, because she's not your best friend. If you're going to use her name, you need to call her Miss Hamilton or Keisha Hamilton. Okay, guys, whenever you're reading someone else's article, you don't call them by their first name unless they're your type bestie. Okay, I might be able to say Sheila when I'm talking about Sheila Berry, but I know her personally. Okay, so just a tip when we get to where we're writing. The first paragraph tells about one side of the argument. So we're going to read Keisha's argument and then we're going to summarize it. Okay. While we are reading Keisha's argument, we're going to be looking for her opinion, her reasons, and her evidence, and restating her opinion. Sometimes that helps me remember it as I think about Oreo. Okay. Now we are not writing about Oreos. Okay, guys, we're writing about school uniforms. I know. Oreos are tasty. But while we are reading Miss Keisha's article, we are going to look for her main opinion, not ours, hers, which we already kind of have a hint what we think she might say, but we got to actually read to see what she says. Looking for her main point, her main opinion, and some reasons that she gives for school uniforms that she backs up with evidence or examples. Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance to read with your Budrose out there. If you think you find any reasons, any pieces of evidence, any places she states her opinion, I want you to underline it so that when we come back, you can find it and talk about it. Good? All right. I want to hear voices getting fluency on. So I want you to find some friends because I want you to actually read something this afternoon. I know it's reading class. Me and Miss Patterson gonna have to read something. So I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to read over it. And if you come across with a friend, you're like, oh, that's her opinion, underline it. Oh, that's her reason for that opinion, underline it. Oh, that's an example she gives, underline it. Are you ready? Are you Mark? Get set? Get your fluency on.